Hey y'all, today I'm going to talk about what a fool I was. What a fool I was believing in somebody who didn't believe in themselves. We're going to talk about that last husband today. Okay? And maybe you a fool too. We do some foolish things as women sometimes, trying to build these relationships that really ain't relationships and we need to leave in the trash where they at. But why we do what we do, I don't know. That's why it's called What a Fool I Was. Okay, so the man that I didn't know was on drugs, this is what I did, y'all. I paid $75 a week for this man to go in this rehab center where he would stay there. And they charge $75 a week for, I think, 8 weeks for them to be in this program. And the reason why I did it was because I'm like four husbands down. This is the fifth husband. So I'm like, okay, let me put something into it because I never really just put nothing into my relationships. It was like, oh, it ain't working, I'm out. So I was like, okay, let me put something into it. So I figured, okay, let me help the man out. Even though I know I didn't want him, but my heart was always a very good heart when it came to people who, I had an interest in. So I was like, let me just help him out because it wasn't for me at that point. I knew I didn't want him. After I realized he was the person that he was. But I said, people are still people and people still need a chance. I know he didn't have nobody who really cared for him. He didn't have nobody who really loved him. And I never seen family, fighting for him. So, um, and his father was an amazing guy, and hopefully he still is alive because he had a great father, but his father wasn't financially able to deal with a grown son with problems such as he had. So the foolish thing that I did was I believed in somebody who didn't believe in themselves. And I know we all are victims of that because if you not, you're lying. Okay. I know you have forgave somebody at a time or, just something you did for somebody who you know that they wasn't putting into themselves and you was putting more into it than they were. That part. The man was trying to leave the rehab center early, didn't want to follow the rules. I remember one day he came to my beauty salon and he was like, I was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, I walked. And I was like, okay, they let y'all have a day out or whatever. And he was like, no, I left. And I said, well, you left. You don't have nowhere to go. So I suggest you go back to your house because that is your house. I said, I'm paying $75 a week for you to be, that's your home. I said, my house where I live is not your home. So where you think you going? So I was doing a client. So I was like, well, when I finish my client, I'm going to take you back because you going to apologize and whatever happened and you going to get back. I said, because you not even considering the fact that I'm using my hard earned money, yet alone I'm already paying for what I'm paying for in my life, but I'm taking another $75 a week to help you get your life together, and you're not considering that. And that's what I need, all of us to understand in this video today. You're putting your life, your money, your finances on the line for people who don't have nothing to lose. Let's stop dating and let's stop getting involved with people who have absolutely nothing to lose because they don't care about what you're doing for them. And let me tell you something about a drug addict that I learned from being involved with two husbands that were involved in drugs that I had no idea. Lord help me. But anywho, they don't care about anything but what they're trying to do. Okay, they don't hear your conversations. A drug addict don't consider you at all they know is what they're trying to do for them. Okay, so here I go trying to help someone because I know nobody else was coming to help him. And I said, if nobody sees this, God will. And God will bless me for being the person that I am. And that's the whole point of me doing what I did. And that's why I do what I do all my life. And that's why my life is set up the way it is right now at 51, because of all the good that I have really done from my heart. Even when people throw me in the trash, did not care anything about me, did not fully love me, did nothing for me that I ever did for them, God rewarded me with what He would do for me. And that's why my life is set up, praise God, the way it is today. And I can tell these stories with no guilt, no shame, no frustration, all a testimony of what God has delivered me from. And I tell these stories because I want it to help the next generation to not be foolish, to not do these things. I'm trying to help the next generation avoid these foolish acts, because you can avoid these foolish acts very easily. Just don't do it. If somebody is on drugs or inflicting themselves in any type of way, leave them where they at. If someone has a life that they don't have nothing to lose, run. Run, because they'll take you out with them. And don't think nothing of it. They ain't got nothing to lose. Jail is nothing to them. Okay? Going to jail is nothing to them. All right? Be afraid and run. Okay? I have been delivered from these evils because I had the Lord always with me, protecting me and guiding me from my ancestor grandmamas and them who was praying for me before I even knew they was praying. Come on, somebody. Everybody is not that blessed to have someone praying for you all your whole life to keep you safe from harm. So the fool that I was believing in someone who didn't believe in themselves, not caring at all what someone else is doing for you. You're just going against the grain, constantly, constantly, constantly going against the grain. If this reminds you of what you've done, or, tell a testimony to somebody, help the youth. It is time that we come together as people who've been through these things to help the next generation not go through these things. And that is the whole reason why I come with my stories every single day, to be the change that this world needs. As long as I live, I'm going to tell a story every day to help someone, because I can, because God delivered me, and that is my testimony to help someone else with the same testimony and situation. There's people out here that don't love themselves. Don't find yourself with one of them.